Hello, we're playing more Yume Nikki. I took a short break, just I didn't have an opportunity to play for a bit. So I'm hoping coming back at it with fresh eyes, we might find some insights, find some things we just never thought to try before for whatever reason, places we never thought to go. It's one of those games. It's like, you know when you're searching for an object that you've lost, and you have that sensation that when you finally find it, it's like, how did I miss this over the last 2 hours? How did I look at this table like 12 times and not see the object right there? And I think it's kind of cool that there's video games that can kind of trigger these like weird memory sensations or perception sensations in your the way just your mind works. I feel like that's a pretty universal experience, right? So we've got 17 out of 24 effects. We're getting to the end game, but I fear that there are effects that are going to be very, very difficult for us to find. And kind of in response to my little discussion of like, how much help do you guys think I should go for? No, I'm not willing to go into there right now. People seemed pretty okay with just doing whatever I wanted to do, with a complete okayness with just dicking around at least for a while. And Rope Snake offered a vague general hint, which I thought would be appropriate to take. It kind of feels like in the nature of this game, you just sort of have weird, kind of incomplete hints and stuff. I kind of like that idea. So he said that a lot of the effects are in fairly easy to get to areas, places that we've already been, and that if we just kind of search more thoroughly in some of these areas, we might find them. So I gotta say, I'm feeling pretty optimistic that if we just kind of roam around a bit, we might stumble upon some stuff that we just had overlooked. We had just passed over somehow in kind of like an anti-miracle. Well, I don't know, maybe that's too dramatic. I'm trying to think now. Like, I think maybe it would be worth going back and skimming some of the old videos to try to figure out what areas I went to like near the start and I didn't really look around as much as I could have, or I got like sidetracked and didn't finish exploring it. Like, I feel like there's a few of these base areas that we just... Like, this one I remember being quite frustrated with because we just kept getting warped to it. Remember? When I was chasing the hat and scarf? So I feel like maybe I never gave it a fair shake. Like, I know we looked around it a bit, because I remember seeing the toilet, which is just occupied. Unless we stab it. Oh, baby, this is the exact... What? Oh, because I was on the bike? Oh, I guess just because I was on the bike. Did I try that before? Anyways, that was a good ludonarrative experience. Because I had the knife, I threatened my way into the bathroom. Is what I'm sure just happened there. This is the other thing that Roast Snake was talking about in his comment. And I've been thinking about it. Hey, what? Is it? Okay. So can I go back? Because there was like other stuff that I wanted to see, but I feel like if I go back, it's not going to take me there. It's going to take me where it warped me to before. So instead I'm going to go this way. And we're back here. That's crazy. Okay. Let's look around here some more. I feel like we didn't fully look around here before. It's really strange because like normally to get here, I've been like playing for a while. We've already done some spooky stuff. Like, this is extremely spooky. I'm saying I feel very unprepared for this. I feel like this really snuck up on me. So we gotta go in fighting. This is a boss fight. It's one of only 4 boss fights in the game. She has about 3,000 experience. We're only 6 hearts. So we can tank like 2 hits, 3 hits at best. And we can eat the frog for some HP. It's good we got the knife. The knife is like +5 attack. It would be hopeless without the knife. We don't have any MP, which is unfortunate. It's that 0 out of 0 over there. Obviously, I'm just kidding. So this is another pretty famous thing in the game. I think I just go and talk to her. And then the boss fight commences. Hello. It's kind of cool because like up until now in this entire environment, you've never seen a character that like you could call like a character and not like part of the setting, right? Like this is just a person. It's just oh my gosh, do I really need to stab her? I thought we just had a little conversation. All right. Maybe I'm misremembering how this works. Do I go back in? There's nothing really else we have. Maybe she would enjoy this. Sorry for killing you. Didn't mean to kill you. Just wanted an event still. Just give me the event still. Alright. Okay. Maybe I'm misremembering this. Maybe it's a different area. I thought you somehow... Like, I don't want to spoil it. For some reason, when I started making these videos, I kind of assumed that everyone watching them would have played this game. Just because I feel like... Ooh, hello. This guy's kind of a character, I suppose. Hello, my friend. This guy seems like he has, like, a fairly normal life. You can tell he's just on the way to the store to get some groceries. He likes to grocery shop, like, 2 or 3 times a week. You know? It's pretty convenient for him. The grocery store is, like, these things here. You can buy these tiny, tiny boomerangs. They taste like potato chips. Alright, anyways. Yeah, I assume that like if you like this game enough to just watch me play it, that you probably would have played it at some point. But that might not be the case based on some of the comments I've seen, which is very, very exciting. I'm excited to be able to give you an experience of playing this game that you might prefer to actually playing this game, because a lot of people don't really actually enjoy wandering around like this. Getting lost, getting confused, getting spooked, perhaps. And I think watching someone play it and like kind of zoning out, watching other stuff at the same time, or like doing other activities, or even watching it with your full attention, however you choose to watch a video. Just the fact that there are those options and that it's entirely passive is a totally different experience. And commentary, of course, is yet another experience. And I think it's wonderful that YouTube is providing these sort of like parallel bonus mediums for video games and for other sorts of content, where they remove the... I don't know where the hell I'm going, by the way. They remove the active aspect of it. Maybe if I just keep doing this, something will happen. And then it becomes this, where you just get to watch me go around in circles. Like I'm playing Yume Nikki NASCAR Simulator. Oh my god, actually, don't you think that would be a sweet idea? Like Yume Nikki Kart? It would be like Mario Kart-esque. You could play as the various characters. The tracks, you know, you can just picture them yourself. No more imagination needs to be done there. The different items could be the effects. There'd be one that like turns you into a frog, and then you can go off-road better. The bicycle... maybe they'd all be riding bicycles, because like, it'd be kind of weird to make some of them run. Or they could have different vehicles. Yeah, I've convinced myself this is actually the greatest fan game that could ever exist. Okay, so back to my original point. I don't want to spoil what this event is, but it involves this girl and another girl that looks quite a lot like her. But that's all I can really remember. I can remember like what the event is, and I can remember that it involves these two girls and what they look like. But I don't really remember if they're in the same area, if there's something you're supposed to do with the first one, trigger seeing the second one. If they're the same girl and it's a transformation thing, I don't remember any of this. So it's like I don't really want to leave the area because I feel fairly certain that they're both in the same area because it's one of the things that kind of connects the two aspects. At the same time, I feel like I've searched this like pretty exhaustively. And I can't think of anything else to... Oh! Oh, wait! No, I think I remember now! Oh, check this out. Oh, I think I remember. Oh. Oh my god, I think that's so good. It's like just the right level of weirdness, and yet it's so like haunting, you know? Because I think it's that, like, she looks like she's been in a traffic accident, and then it's even worse than that. If we talk to her, oh, we see this lovely drawing with kind of mode 7E effects happening to it. It's so strange, and yet like you could say this is scary. It's definitely grotesque. It's like the equivalent of body horror, but it's so cartoony and simple that I don't know. Like it's like creepy without being scary, I would say. It really leaves an impression. But I don't think it would be too unreasonable to say that there are strong moe elements to this. And that if he really wanted to make it scary, Kikiyama, if they really wanted to make this to just freak you out, like jump scare style, there's other ways in which they could have done it. I think it's more just supposed to be bizarre. And it's supposed to really linger with you and be unsettling. But I don't think it's supposed to be scary in a word. You know what I mean? Isn't that great though? And with the traffic light, oh, I'm so glad I remembered. Yeah. Oh, it's so good. I feel like, okay, so my point with the drawing is that I think it's more that he just drew this drawing because that's just the sort of thing he likes to draw. And then it's more just kind of like awkwardly inserted into the game, I think. You know what I mean? It's more about the strangeness that they put it in than any actual aspects of the emotional resonance it has on you. That's kind of how I feel about it. But what I really like, and I almost wish that the effect wasn't in there and it was just doing this. I don't know, it taps into some deep fascination, like going all the way back to my childhood, playing games in the SNES era on my GBA, things like that, playing like a lot of JRPGs and stuff, and just like wanting something truly strange like this to happen, wanting to believe one weird cheat posted on Game FAQs that has like 50 people in the comments saying doesn't work, and just like that deep curiosity for something truly bizarre to exist in a game like this. Like subtle, very pointless. Oh, so good. Alright, goodbye. Do you kind of get what I mean? Like, all right, let's think about how you discover it too, because I think this is pretty cool. So basically, you're in this area. You've probably quested quite a way to get there, unless you took the shortcut through the brutalist architecture, scarf and hat world, which apparently you can get here really easily by doing that, which still confuses me. Normally, I think it takes you quite a while to get here. And then you've likely come here through a lot of other areas that look like this kind of monochrome desert, as it's known in the fan community. I'm trying to leave, by the way, right now. You usually come in through here, right? And this, I can't go this way this time. I don't know if I can actually find the thing to leave. Maybe I'm stuck here. And if you're stuck here, it's actually all the better, because that means you're probably going to just exhaustively search this. And then this is like the only area you actually get to leave. There's other ones that now you can just go into and go nowhere, like the little roundabout one. Actually, I should try that again, because who knows? It could be something like after you view that event, if you go through the little NASCAR one, you actually warp somewhere. But barring that, which I think is actually not that likely, there's no... Wait. Yeah, this takes us back. Okay, so this takes us back here. Alright, let's just try going here then. Yeah, it takes us here. Okay, so... Oh, right. Okay, I did that last time. Where does this take us again? Uh-oh. Alright, well, I hope we saw everything we needed to see from there last time, because we're not getting there again. I thought last time I made the exact same mistake, and I was fine. I got to go back again. Oh, hey, what the hell? It's that easy! Oh, are you ready for this? It's so cute. Oh, I love it even more. Oh my gosh. Doesn't this Frieza color scheme area seem kind of cold, too? Oh, it doesn't have an effect? I thought she, like, shivered or something. Oh, no, I'm thinking of the cold one. What, is it that one? Yeah. Oh, but you can do this. Check out this combo. This is, like, maximum comfort. Oh, I just realized I'm playing on the mechanical keyboard again. I totally forgot. It's because I was, like, trying to remember the sequence of keys that I needed to hit to menu. And then I realized, like, oh, I'm, like, making the clack sound. Alright, are you ready? Oh my god. Oh, the comfort I feel right now. The coziness of this game. Why do you have to have a knife in this game? Why do I have to solve puzzles by trying knife? Why did I kill that little girl? She'd evidently already died a gruesome death in some sort of extremely mutilating traffic accident. Oh, but this game, the coziness is unreal sometimes. I don't need to go to the bathroom. So, this is definitely a good example of one that was actually in a pretty easy to find location that we just happened not to find. And it really goes to show, like, these areas are probably bigger than they seem. And it's actually quite difficult to fully explore when you can only move in these 4 cardinal directions. Okay, despite this success, I'm going to call this one, and we're going to go back and try somewhere else. In fact, I know exactly what I want to try to celebrate getting what I think is one of the cutest accessories in the entire game. Pretty sure this is it. Nope! Dang, that would have been a much better effect. I think it's one of these two. Oh boy. You know where I'm trying to go now. Maybe it's this one? Yeah! Okay, so we've been here a couple times before. One time was specifically to go look for Uboa, which we did successfully. I'm still feeling pretty blessed that we were able to find Uboa because I really wasn't prepared to, like, just grind it, you know, for multiple episodes or anything like that. So that was pretty lucky. I feel like Mr. No Sleep, the RuneScape pro player, when I talk about the successive RNG events in my videos like this. Then I think we came back here and explored a little bit more, and I found the Yuki Onna, and I found the igloo where you're asleep. And can I talk to this lady? I think she's okay. Yeah, unless she's in freakout mode. And I think if I stab her, she'll turn evil. But we're not going to do that. I have no reason to think that there's any benefit to me stabbing Bird One-san right now. She kind of predicated the whole Momo crisis, you know? These characters. Don't they look kind of similar? Do you know about the Momo challenge? I think the Momo challenge and the Blue Whale challenge before it is quite fascinating. I especially like how... Well, I shouldn't say like. Like is not the right word because these things don't do anybody any good outside of their kind of fascination that I have with them. But the Blue Whale game happened. I think like... I don't know, I think it started like 4 or 5 years ago. Or started. Is the sleeping person. No. And basically it was like a fear-mongering thing among parents that your children are playing a game where people give them instructions each day, and they start like really innocuous. Take a picture of something, you know, go out, lean out your window and shout this word, I don't know. And then the last one says, you gotta kill yourself. Ooh, spooky. And there's like no evidence that this game ever existed. There's no evidence that people played this game, and there's, as far as I can tell, absolutely nothing that could come close to an actual reported case of someone killing themselves. Which makes it a lot easier to laugh at. Or more than just laugh at, to just kind of think about in a way that... Ooh, let's try to sleep again. Wouldn't this be a nice, comfy place to sleep? So, you may not have heard of that one, but you've more likely heard of the Momo Challenge, which is basically the same story as far as I can tell, except it gave kind of like a face to it by using this statue of a Japanese artist of this kind of bird-looking woman with big eyes and kind of like a long beak-like mouth. And if I was really good at video editing, I would edit her face like creepily coming up in the background, but that's too much effort. So this thing led to like a much larger panic. And it got to the point where the Japanese artist actually destroyed Momo, which she wasn't called Momo, she was called like Tori Okasan or something, like Bird Mother, which I thought was very sad. But he did it because he was really worried the children were actually scared of Momo, and I think again, like the Blue Whale Challenge, it was much more that parents were scared. And why I think it blew up so much more than the Blue Whale Challenge is just because in the aftermath of the Blue Whale Challenge, there's a lot more kind of like retrospective news on it, more than when it was happening at the time. And it was probably something where like a lot of people just kind of found out through word of mouth after the major scare in like think pieces and should we go back in here? Let's take the Uboa challenge. No more Momo challenge, no more Blue Whale challenge. This time it's Uboa telling you to buy lots of Pepto-Bismol and pastel watercolor crayons and dump them in your local lake for fun and profit. There might be other stuff to find in here. So yeah, I think it was like this vague fear that had become a little culturally permeated in the aftermath of the Blue Whale Challenge. And all these people were like ready to be afraid of something like this. Do you kind of know what I mean? I think there's like, this sort of thing is like always happening. These sort of cultural moments where we're just kind of on the verge of some big unspoken fear. And then as soon as there's some very recognizable, nameable version of it, it's like, like we were waiting for that. I'm trying to think of some other good examples. Something like Godzilla, Akira. I think these kind of take into cultural moment fears. A lot of movies about like a horror movie where it's like they were taking some experimental drug. They thought it was just a party, and then I think those movies exist. I'm sure they watch them on like Red Letter Media. It's something where people, it's like you kind of have this vague fear. You have this memory that you're kind of too afraid to like actually confront directly, so it just sort of lurks in your brain, and maybe you have dreams about it, and then suddenly you kind of see it out there. It can lead to some pretty strong emotional reactions. I think Yume Nikki, incidentally, I don't remember why we even got on this subject, but Yume Nikki I think really also is both this kind of experience and can cause these sorts of experiences in people. Like, imagine you played this game as a kid, and out of sheer desperation, so you find the little girl in Monochrome World, and you're like, this must be something. Like, it was tough to get here, so this must do something. So you're just going through your effect list, trying everything. And fortunately you happen to have the traffic light. And then it's like, whoa. Right? Like, that sort of thing would just kind of stick with you forever, I think. I think kind of the conflation, too. So we've made it back here. I guess I'm going to go in. If we get a first try, then we're going to have to... what's a good Momo challenge? Go to the beach and erect a giant paper mache 5-armed guy spitting blood. I'll really do it! Alright, I don't have to do it. Oh, phew. That would have been terrible. I would have gotten in so much trouble with the police. So maybe there isn't anything else to see here. Maybe we'll have to go home. Okay, so to finish my point from earlier, and then maybe we'll end this episode because it's getting close to half an hour. If you did that as a kid, okay, no. I think as a kid, I probably would have done that in almost any game. If something struck me as just weird in like one of these old like Pokemon, Final Fantasy, the old Mario RPGs, I was down to like experiment. Really any kind of genre of game, but those games I think presented me with like the most sort of like just sheer number of options. Or the ultimate example, of course, is like adventure games. I used to play like the Monkey Island games and like Day of the Tentacle and those like LucasArts Adventures games. And those games are actually built all around this sense of desperation. But more in the games where like I had no reasonable reason to believe, no explanation for why anything could possibly happen by going through my inventory and just trying to use every item. It's just like sheer desperation and the fact that I was a kid and I just wanted to believe just this kind of culture that existed around that kind of gamification era of like games are just full of weird stuff. Just believe me, you can do all these bizarre sequence of events and then something just totally out of line with anything else in the game will just like randomly happen. Like Charizard will evolve into Yoshi. It's like, what? Why? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Or like if you talk to this NPC like 500 times, he'll fight you. It's like, why? Like, he has a Pokemon called Terror, and if it, and they always just kind of veer into creepy territory, but really, it's more just like, why? Like, why would that be in the game? But then you play this, and that kind of stuff really is in this game. I think that's really beautiful. Okay, we're gonna start another video.